All right, let's jump in. For years, right, the big story around Bitcoin was all about digital gold, the scarce, super secure asset. But what if that was just phase one? Today, we're diving into the vision of David Marcus, a real pioneer in the payments world, who says Bitcoin is right on the edge of becoming something much bigger, a true global payment network.
And this quote right here, from our source, really sets the stage. Think about it. The internet made information instant and free. The idea here is that Bitcoin is about to do the same thing for money. We're not just talking about a new asset. We're talking about rewiring the actual plumbing of the global financial system.
Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with Bitcoin's two big identities. Then we'll look at the huge payments problem it's actually trying to solve. After that, we'll get into the cool tech, stuff like Lightning and Spark, that makes this all possible. And that tech opens the door for everything, from digital dollars to tokenizing, well, pretty much the entire world.
First things first, to really get where Bitcoin is going, you have to understand where it's been. And according to Marcus, this is so important. For Bitcoin to ever work as a way to pay for things, it absolutely had to succeed as a store of value first. One had to come before the other.
And this slide really breaks down those two core ideas. You had the store of value phase, which got this huge stamp of approval when institutions like BlackRock came in. That built legitimacy, it built trust, it built value. Now, Marcus argues we're finally moving into the medium of exchange phase, where we can build all this cool payment stuff right on top of that super solid foundation.
And because it succeeded so well as a store of value, it's become, in his words, this powerful tool for financial freedom. He basically sees it as a way better version of gold. I mean, think about it. If the price of gold skyrockets, what happens? We just go mine more of it. You can't do that with Bitcoin. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual problem all this tech is trying to fix. Moving money around today, especially from one country to another, is just painful. It's slow, it's expensive, and that's because the whole legacy system was built decades ago. It just wasn't designed for the internet age. And just look at this comparison. It's kind of crazy. Old school networks like Swift, we're talking 3 to 5 days and maybe $50 a pop for a transaction. And they just shut down after 5 p.m. and on weekends. An ideal network needs to be the exact opposite. Instant, practically free, and always on for anyone, anywhere with an internet connection. So how in the world do you fix this with Bitcoin? Well, you don't do it on the main network itself. That's the base layer, and it's built for maximum security, not for speed. The real solution is to build on top of it, on what are called Layer 2 networks. The best way to think about it is like this. The main Bitcoin network is this incredibly secure highway. A Layer 2 is like an express lane built right on top of that highway. It's designed to handle millions of tiny, super-fast transactions without ever causing a traffic jam on the main road below. Now, the first big Layer 2 that really took off is the Lightning Network. And the best analogy for it is a bar tab. You open a channel with someone, that's like opening your tab. Then you can do tons of little transactions back and forth instantly. And only when you're all done do you close the tab, which settles just one final transaction on the main Bitcoin network. And don't get me wrong. Lightning is absolutely revolutionary. It makes Bitcoin way faster and cheaper. But Marcus points out that it has some real hurdles for mass adoption. It can be pretty complicated if you want to manage your own funds, and you have to lock up capital up front to open those channels. That's just not practical if you're trying to onboard billions of people. And this is what sets the stage for the next step, a system called Spark. It's designed to work with Lightning, but it gets rid of that complicated channel system. This makes it so much easier to scale to billions of wallets that can receive money instantly for almost no cost. Now here's where it gets really, really interesting. This new layer isn't just for moving Bitcoin around. It can handle other assets. And the most important one by far, stablecoins.
So what's a stablecoin? It's basically a digital dollar. It gives you the price stability you're used to with traditional money, but with the power of a crypto asset, meaning it can be sent anywhere in the world 24/7. For people in countries with really unstable currencies, this is an absolute lifeline.
So when you run these digital dollars on a network like Spark, you get this incredible performance. We're talking transactions that cost less than a penny and settle in under a second. But the killer feature, the most crucial part, is trust. You can always unilaterally exit back to the main Bitcoin network. Nobody can stop you from getting your funds back.
So the whole point here is that this setup takes Bitcoin's core principles,
decentralization, trustlessness, and basically lends them to digital dollars. So even if a stablecoin is issued by a company, it can move on a network that's way more open and resilient than anything we have today.
And it doesn't just stop with digital dollars. This same technology unlocks the ability to tokenize pretty much any real-world asset you can possibly think of.
Tokenization sounds complicated, but it's really simple. It's just creating a digital representation of ownership. So you can have a digital token that represents ownership of a building or a piece of art or even a share of a company.
So why should you care about this? Well, it's all about democratizing access to wealth. As Marcus explains it, if you tokenize a single share of Berkshire Hathaway, which costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, someone could own just 1 cent of it. A person in a developing country could own a tiny fraction of a Miami beachfront property. It makes global investment possible for everyone, 24/7. So let's put all the pieces together. You've got Bitcoin as the secure foundation. You have layer 2 networks for incredible speed. You've got digital dollars for stability, and you've got tokenization for every other asset. When you combine all of that, what you get is the blueprint for what Marcus calls a new Internet of Money.
In this future, you don't even have to know you're using Bitcoin. It just fades into the background. It becomes the invisible plumbing that powers everything, kind of like how TCP/IP powers the internet you're using right now. You don't think about it. It just works.
And this network also becomes the natural payment layer for AI. Marcus makes this really fascinating point. If an AI agent gets to choose between a financial network run by humans and one run by code, it's going to pick the one run by code every single time. And that's Bitcoin.
And that is the ultimate vision. It's a single, global, open network where every form of value, dollars, euros, stocks, real estate, you name it, can move instantly to anywhere in the world for nearly zero cost, 24/7, 365.
And that really leaves us with a final, massive question to think about. As technology and money become more and more intertwined, we're all going to face a fundamental choice about our financial system. Do we want it run by institutions and human decisions, or by a neutral, open-source protocol that anyone can use?